All right. So we're going to be looking at the fundamental updates for August 31st, 2025. If you're watching this video, you should know that I give fundamental updates for every week. And we'll be looking at what August 31st, which is September 1st till September 5th, would look like. And also, we're going to look at what happened last week and how it affected the market. So, I need you to pay close attention because I will explain something to you all today. First things first, last week the volatility was very weak, and I said this. I just told you all that August volatility is very, very slow, and last week we saw it at its peak, right? We saw the volatility drop at its peak. There was no really much news that was affecting the market. The only news that I told you that would affect the market drastically was the one on Friday, which was core PCE. But what even happened on core PCE? It came out neutral. Do you understand? It came out 0.3% reading. So let us look at the news that happened last week and how all this thing affected the market. We saw AUD CPI, which was year on year. I told you that year on year don't really have much effect on on the particular currency. Is when you see M/M, those ones have more effect. But if you see Y/Y, which is this one I'm talking about, it has no effect. On Monday, first of all, we saw GBP bank holiday, and I told you that GBP will be very slow. It wouldn't really move the market. Card speech, that one wasn't really important. We saw gross domestic product number, which came out positive for US. Now this number coming out positive for US gave a retracement on dollar, which happened on Thursday, right? You can see the GDP number came out 3.3%, actual greater than forecast, which was 3.1%. What does this mean? It means that the growth of the economy is picking up, and due to this, we saw dollar give a bit of retracement to the upside. Do you understand? Because why? The US economy growth rate is increasing. Now, does this mean that it's going to change the direction of dollar to bullish? No, it's not. That news is not big enough to change the bias of dollar. GDP just simply tells you how well an economy is doing. If the growth rate is going up or if it's coming down, and if it comes out green, it means that the growth rate is what is coming up. We saw unemployment claims, which wasn't really important. It came out neutral as well. You see, there was no color in this thing. We saw card GDP. Card GDP too is very important. You can see Canadian dollar had a very weak data, which actual less than forecast, and this showed that what the economy is going on a slow growth rate, right? So this is bad for card economy, but it's not big enough. These news are not big enough to change the direction of the market or give it a huge spike in the market. Do you understand why? Because this is not market focus. In fundamental analysis, you have to understand market theme and market focus, and that's something you would learn if you are in the macro mastery class, right? But for now, just pay close attention because I'll be giving you the updates for next week. Last week was actually nothing to write home about. You can see dollar just kept on ranging. I told you all that this level is going to be a level of it's going to be hard for dollar to break it. Dollar cannot just do all this consolidation here and just break it. No, it's going to be difficult, and you can see the market is finding it difficult to break it. We might see a little bit of retracement back, or we might see a break now because it has already tapped it up to 3 times 1, 2, 3. So we might see a break from here, and markets might come all the way back down to sell, right? That's my prediction. Or we might see a break to the upside. Any of this can happen. Now, first thing I want to let you all know that September is one of the best months for trading. It's one of the best months for trading. Because the best month for trading in a year, September, October, November. That is when people, go for profits. That is when people try to double their account. Why? Because this particular month are the best months in the season for trading. The worst month for trading, this is the important thing I told you all that I should take into account. The worst month for trading in a year is August. Sometime June, July, August. But August is the one that carries much peak. Why? Why is this so? Is because during August, there's a summer holiday for the US. And US are the biggest traders in the market. You understand? So during this time, they go on holidays. And once traders are on holidays, the volatility of the market will be very slow. Same thing happens for December. Don't worry, Christmas holiday, you see how volatility will be very weak. The market wouldn't be moving. Yes, the market also go on holidays too, especially if there is less traders in the market. Do you understand? So this is just simply what happened on dollar, just a range throughout last week. I won't really say anything much happened. What happened to my Euro USD position? Well, my Euro USD position came back to entry. I've already taken, partial profit at this stop here. And then it came back to my entry. I just left the remaining trade I was holding to run. Well, I thought it was going to come back and hit my SL, but it came all the way back down here and went all the way back up. And then I took my next profit at that zone, right? So I'll just say I closed the market early at this level. Why? Because of the August range. This is not a good time to be holding trade for too long. And besides, I'm seeing a level of great resistance over here. So the market might not just break it easily. It might want to dance a little before we see a push to the upside and then to the top. Do you understand? We will still look at the analysis for this week, right? But for now, let's just leave it at this. What also happened, I was also waiting for my CAD JPY position. My CAD JPY position did not trigger as well. Did you see how slow the market was? A whole week, and this was what happened on CAD JPY. A whole week. This is just it. A whole week. So it's not every week that is a trading week. At least this would have shown you all that it's not every week you have to make profit. So I'm still waiting for the market to get here and then sell. We'll still look at analysis when we get to analysis part. But let us now look at the news we have for next week. Now, next week is going to be focusing on employment data. Every first week of a new month, focus on employment data. That's when you see the ADP non-farm employment change. You see the unemployment claims. You see the job opening. You see the non-farm payroll. All these things are important to the US. Now, not all of them will move the market drastically. Not all of them will move the market drastically. Some might just be data that will help investors know the outcome for the non-farm payroll, which is the most important, that happens on Friday, right? Exactly. So Monday we have CAD, which is bank holiday. Don't expect volatility on Monday as well. And we also have US bank holiday. Don't expect volatility at all in any of these US pairs or CAD pairs that you're going to be trading. So on Tuesday we have ISM manufacturing PMI. Now, what does this mean? PMI just simply tells you that, okay, is the country manufacturing more or are they manufacturing less? Are they growing or are they subsiding? If they are growing, you see the economy will be doing very well. Do you understand? This PMI data would show green. It will come out actual higher than forecast. But if it's not growing, if the economy is slowing down, it will come out red. Is this news important? Will it move the market? No, absolutely not. It's not all red folders that affect the market. By now, you should know. So the next one, AUD GDP. Well, this is a very important news as well, but will it move the market? No. Now I want to let you all know that why are these things not moving market? Because there's something called economic indicators that give you results for the actual focus of the market. Now, all these economic indicators, they give results to the actual focus of the market. The actual focus, the actual theme for next week is going to be non-farm payroll, which is NFP, happening on Friday, USD. That is what all investors are going to be focusing on. And now, due to the fact that this is the market theme, this is the thing that will actually move the market, at least to some extent. It will move the market. Even though currently we are on monetary policy, but every week, market theme can change. Currently, the US is deciding if they will cut interest rates or if they would, hold interest rate on September. And that September have reached. So now, US are going to be looking for every possible data to give them reasons why they shouldn't cut interest rate. Because, to be honest, cutting interest rates would affect the economy. Do you understand? It will affect the currency. but at the same time it's to stimulate the economy. Do you get? So they are looking for every means necessary not to cut interest rates. So any positive data that comes out in US, it's a sign that, okay, should they cut interest rates or should they hold interest rates? Do you understand the point? Exactly. So AUD GDP is to show the growth rate of the economy, but will it give you a spike in the market? No. We have AUD speech, right? Speech on Reserve Bank of Australia, which is on Wednesday, 9:00 a.m. Now this one might actually move the market depending on what the bank says, right? Because this one is going to be a speech by the Fed, so it depends on what they say. If they say something drastic like interest rate cuts is going to happen again on AUD, you will see the market sell massively. It depends on what they say. Sometimes this speech comes with huge volatility in the market, right? Because the Fed can say something, maybe they're expecting interest rate cut, or they can just say something like, oh, this one will happen, and all of a sudden you see the market will drop drastically. Do you get? But on probability, it can affect the market, it might not affect the market. And if it's affecting the market, it will only affect any pair that have AUD on it. So US job opening. Now this simply tells you the amount of job opening that is in an economy. Simple as that. So if it comes out positive, it's going to show signs that NFP might actually come out positive. I'm not saying you should go and trade NFP or trade job opening. No. Remember, if you want to trade NFP, you should have started trading it from Monday, from Tuesday safe. Do you understand? Now this is something you learn in the Macro Mastery Class. To trade NFP, to trade any important news, you start trading it before the news even starts. Because why? Investors are already pricing in based on the data they are predicting. There's something called the rumor. So the rumor is what we are going to buy. Then if it comes out as the rumor claims, then it will give us more profit. But if it doesn't, we are taking our partials. We are leaving the market. Do you understand? So based on job opening, you will know the rumors of the market on NFP. And then we have CHF CPI. Now this one might be important because it's month-on-month CPI and it's for CHF. Only CHF. And that's where it's going to affect CHF, right? USD ADP non-farm payroll. This simply tells you the amount of people that are employed in private sector. Private sector. Those people are working in private company. This one, right? This ADP non-farm payroll is different from non-farm payroll employment change, because this one is government that are analyzing it. How many people are being employed in public sectors? But the ADP just shows you how many people are employed in private sector. So it can affect the market, but it's not really important too as well. It will not really give you that spike you're looking for in the market. Unemployment claims, still the same thing, not really affect the market. It just give you, lead to what NFP might look like. ISM service PMI, the same thing as manufacturing PMI. It just shows you how many, if services in US are doing well, like the hospitals, like the companies, all these things, if they are doing well. If it comes out green, it means it's doing well, and means the economy is picking up. You understand? So that just simply, let's go straight to the one that will move the market. Like I said, all this news have like chances of not moving the market, apart from the CHF CPI and the AUD speech. Those are the two that have like chances of moving the market. These two. Then the next one, the last one that will move the market, is the US non-farm payroll. Now, what is the focus for this week? This week, we're focusing on monetary policy. This week, investors are going to be looking at the employment rate to know if they are going to resort to an interest rate cut immediately. Now, if this thing comes out negative, dollar will sell massively. Dollar is going to sell massively, and it's going to tell you that, oh, interest rate cut is going to happen. Why? Because the economy is weak. They only cut interest rates when an economy is weak. Do you understand? But if it comes out positive, dollar might just go bullish for a while and then start retracing back, being negative. Why? Because there's something called short-term news and long-term news. Short-term news can go against long-term news. Long-term news, dollar is what? Bearish. Do you understand? Long-term news, based on monetary policy, they're expecting rate cut. Dollar is still bearish in a long-term news. Long-term, trading analysis, fundamental analysis, long-term, dollar is bearish. But if NFP comes out positive, for the short while, dollar might be bullish. It doesn't mean it to change the direction of dollar and make dollar bullish in the long term. No, for the short term, dollar might still retrace later on due to the fact that the long-term news is still bearish. Do you understand? So what are we expecting in the market? Let's go straight to the chart. Now, like I said, I'm expecting long-term news. Dollar is still bearish, but if the NFP should come out negative, positive, we might see a huge spike to the upside, and then the market might start doing something like this, right? And then come all the way back down. Do you understand? It depends. It depends. I can't actually give out analysis on NFP. Why? Because the Fed are looking at the NFP number at this moment, and investors cannot make any rumor. The market is picking up. The US dollar is picking up. The US dollar is actually picking up well. Do you understand? But I wouldn't advise anyone to go and start trying to trade NFP for now. Do you get? The market focus is still monetary policy. So they are looking for any positive data to not cut interest rates. But if they see a negative data, it's going to give them more room for an interest rate cut. So if NFP should come out negative, we might see something like this, and the market will sell drastically. Do you understand? The market will sell drastically. Let's go over to the daily time frame and see what dollar still look like. Remember, dollar is still bearish in the daily time frame. So if any funny movement happens, dollar will just keep selling. This is what dollar looks like in the daily time frame. Don't forget. So dollar is still bearish. So if anything happens, NFP comes out negative, we're still expecting a little bit of sell, because they are planning on cutting interest rates this September. So we should be looking at more sales coming up in dollar. That is my fundamental take and technical analysis take, right? It's not that difficult. It's not that hard. So let's go over to JPY pairs. Now, like I said last week, JXY is at a point of where they're about to hike interest rates. Why are they hiking interest rates? Because the economy is doing well and inflation is increasing. Now, I have been waiting for weeks for this market to pump from this side. But due to August volatility, we've been seeing markets ranging all the way here. But my expectation is, since they are still, going to cut interest rates, we should see a little bit of pump to the upside from JXY. Now, this is just simply the Japanese yen currency. It just simply means that if JXY is bullish, KJPY will be bearish, right? GBP JPY will be bearish. USD JPY will be bearish. What other currency that have JPY will be bearish? So my take on CAD JPY is that I'm still hoping that CAD JPY will get to my level and sell. I'm still waiting patiently to see the sell from there. If it doesn't happen, so be it. If it happens, voila, I'm good in profits, because it hasn't really mitigated this POI over here. And I'm hopeful that if the market gets here, we can see a little bit of reaction, and then I'll take the trade to the downside and make my cool profits. Do you understand? That is simply it. Now for Euro AUD, I remember telling you all that AUD economy is weak. Why? Because they cut interest rates. Any pair that have AUD on it, know that that pair follows more of the AUD, because AUD is a very, very strong pair. Now, what is happening? The trade actually reversed a bit. We thought it's going to respect this level, but due to the fact that August volatility was very, very slow, it did not give us a reaction. Do you understand? It did not give us any further reaction from here. Let's see if this level might be a zone of interest for the market. But my take is, I'm not actually going to take this trade. I'm not seeing any golden opportunity on Euro AUD, and I only look for perfect opportunity in the market. So it's not something I would want to jump in. I would just leave it at that. So for NZD USD, NZD is actually weak at the moment. NZD, they are cutting interest rates, and you can see from the higher time frame technical analysis, NZD is bearish. Do you understand? Due to the fact that they are cutting interest rates on NZD, NZD is also bearish. So this is giving more room for a sell. Do you understand? Giving room for a sell. Even though dollar is weak, but due to the fact that they are cutting interest rate on NZD, we are seeing more weakness. But at the same time, if NFP should pick up, right, we might see a little bit of push to the upside if NFP come out negative in dollar. But if it comes out positive in dollar, giving it more room for a sell on NZD USD. Am I taking this trade once it gets to this level? No, I would rather wait for a confirmation. I don't just take trade once it gets to a level. That's done. And if you do that, you should stop it because you end up losing your account. So GBP GPY, I don't even know what GBP GPY is doing. It's just ranging. So USD card, not really a fan right now because of oil price. Not really a fan. Asking, I know you'll be telling me what is oil price doing. Also, well, oil price is a whole new story for another day. Well, for USD JPY, this is one of my favorite pairs, but I don't know. August just made it look very, very wobbly. I don't know which kind of stupid consolidation happened here, but I'll just patiently wait for this level to be broken. I don't trade ranging markets, never in this life. In my 3 years of trading, up to 4 years now, I don't trade ranging market. I rather wait for a trend to occur than taking a trade anywhere around here. This is just anybody that is trading this, just I don't know, let's say maybe a scalper. I'm not really say it's a bad thing, but I can't do this. So the GBP card is not really important at the moment because we are waiting for market to retrace all the way back down here. Then wait to see a confirmation. I'll not just buy once market gets here. Like I said, buying at a zone once market gets there is just dumb. I have to wait for a confirmation. USD CHF, still the same old range. I'm not really interested. Euro USD, I'm not really interested again because the market is now ranging. All these markets are ranging. Why? Because of the August volatility. So if maybe market should pick up from here and break this range, then I can start looking for an entry at this level. Do you understand? But as long as it's still ranging, I'm not really a fan. Most of these pairs are ranging, and I am not a fan of a ranging market. This one did not break this level, so it's a ranging market now. I'm not really a fan. GAP AUD, August just made all this pair look very, very ugly. I'm not really seeing any opportunity on GBP AUD. It just blank. To me, it just blank. So GBP USD, well, I saw a price action pattern here, and I'm waiting for a breakout, possibly to the upside because dollar is weak. And then if it gives us that breakout to the upside, maybe I can start looking for an entry. Maybe, just maybe, but based on the way it looks, I'm not really a fan. So that should be it. That should be it for the fundamental analysis. Okay, gold. Now, I remember telling you all that gold might come all the way to this level and give us a pump, and that is exactly what it did. Gold came back to this level and gave us a pump, and it has broken this level here, showing that, okay, the range might be over. You can see, perfect. I have friends who caught this, gold bullish move. This is a very, very huge move to the top side. You understand? Very huge move to the top side. Well, this is huge, but I didn't trade it. Why? Because of the ranging over here. Market is ranging too much for me to be looking for entry on the ranging market. Like I said, I have trading rules, I have trading plans. I can't go against them. Why? Because I saw a good opportunity to make huge amount of money. I can't do that. I have to stick to my trading plan because I know that if you keep trading ranging markets, one day to catch up with you, one day this is what will happen. Markets will just come all the way back down here to start going up, and you set entry here and you lose a lot. Do you understand? So that's just simply it for gold, and we'll call it a day. So if you love this, you want to learn more, because there's some things that you don't even understand in fundamental. This is not everything. There's still dots. There's still dot mode. This is something, a concept in fundamental analysis. There's still things that will help you to understand the market theme and market focus, because I know that if I tell you what is the market theme for next week, you don't know. There's still ways you can predict CPI news and NFP news, which I can't even give out here. I usually give out to my macroeconomics students. I can tell them the result of CPI data. If I get the result of NFP data, I'm giving it to them, and they will trade it based on the way I tell them to trade it. Do you understand? That's the benefit you get once you register with the macroeconomics class. You can see the details. We're giving 6 months training, lifetime mentorship, and you'll be learning how to catch trades like this. Perfect trade like this. Now, these are for those who already know about forex markets. You're already good at trading. If you're a newbie, if you're a beginner, please just focus on, if you need a mentor, you can focus on joining the academy. We also have training for students who want to start leveling up in their trading. But if you know so much about the forex market and you want to go straight into macroeconomics, you want to learn how to read the fundamental analysis, you want to know what is happening in news, you want to know how to read all these things without having anyone, without needing me, because sometimes most people are just depending on my fundamental updates. You can also formulate your own by having the knowledge. Well, you can text me up, my WhatsApp contact. If you're watching this, you should have my WhatsApp contact, or you just click the link in the description of the channel to get access to this site where you can register. You understand? It's currently at a discount of $41. The main price is actually $173. So I hope you understood everything in this fundamental update. And in case you have any question, you can ask me as well. I'll be willing to answer that. For now, have a lovely trading week ahead. More profit this week, more volatility to us, more wins to us, more testimonies to my students. Have a lovely day ahead.